Hello everyone. I am Aseel Barghout. I'm studying translation at Islamic University. Today I will analyze Mother to Son poem by Langston Hughes. First I will read the poem. Mother to Son. Well son, I will tell you, life for me ain't been no crystal stair. It's had taxes in it, and splinters, and boards torn up, and places with no carpet on the floor. Bare, but all the time I's been a climbing on, and reaching lanterns, and turning corners, and sometimes going in the dark, where there ain't been no light. So boy, don't you turn back, don't you sit down on the steps, 'cause you find it's kinder hard. Don't you fall now, for I's still going, honey, I's still climbing, and life for me ain't been no crystal stair. I will discuss these points. I will talk about poet, form, setting, summary, vocabulary, analysis words, literary devices, and finally themes. First, the poet is James Mercer Langston Hughes. He is born in the 1st February 1901 from Joliet, Missouri in US. He died on 22 May 1967, aged 66 in New York City in US. Langston Hughes descends from different races, as he is of African, Scottish, and European Jewish descent, as well as an American Indian root. He is an American poet, social activist, novelist, playwright, and finally columnist. He is one of the earliest inventors of the literary art form called jazz poetry. Hughes is best known as a leader of the Harlem Renaissance. Hughes' poems speak of the black people experience in America. Finally, he wrote many poems as The Negro Speaks of Rivers, Mothers to Son, Dreams, the Weary Blues, and Life is Fine. Second, the form. It's a 20-line poem that's contained within one stanza of text. Some syllables are very short and the other are long. The poem has written free verse, so it doesn't have meter and rhyme scheme. The poet used simple language in the poem to make it easy to understand and convey a powerful message. The poem is first-person narrative by the mother. A mother advises her son to work, persevere, and strive in his life, and urges him to persevere and not despair in the face of life. As she talks about her life and the many hardships she encountered in it. The setting. First time. Mother to Son was written in the early of 20th century, 1920. It's published when the African American were under operation and receipt injustice. It was first published in 1922 in the Crisis magazine. Second, place. Mother to Son seems to be set on a stair. The speaker spends a good deal of time describing that staircase. It's dark, poorly, and dangerous thing. Summary. The poem is talk about mother advises her son to work, persevere, and strive in his life in order to fulfill his aspirations. As she talks about her life and the many hardships she encountered, she urged him to persevere and not to despair in the face of life. It's natural for a mother to love her son and wish him success and excellence in life and work hard to follow her example. Also, this poem talk about and describes the difficulties that black people face in a racist society, alluding to the many obstacles and dangers that racism throws in their way. Obstacles and dangers that white people don't have to face. Literary devices. There are many literary devices. First, metaphor. She linked her life as a stair with uprooted wooden planks, tacks and splinters on its surface, and the floor was not covered by carpets. Also, she linked the stair to a revealing person. 2. Alteration. Line 4 to 6 and line 9 to 12. These lines begin with and. 3. Using reaching, landing, and camping. This has the effect of meaning the verse more song. 4. Imagery. She also used imagery like life for me ain't being no crystal stair and places with no carpet on the floor and don't you sit down on the steps. 5. Symbolism. The crystal stair symbolizes to the power that white people enjoy in a reset society, and stair symbolizes to hardships. It also symbolizes the life that we spend. Finally, I will talk about theme. 1. Persevere and courage. The mother advised her son to be patient and persistent, and he must have the courage to move forward in life despite the difficulties he may face. The poet conveys the message that one should persevere to improve one's life and not be discouraged by the hardship one may face. 2. Racism. Racism appears as a major theme in the poem. The mother has strong determination and morals, but her opportunities are very limited because of her race. And finally, the poem talks about despair and hope. The mother didn't have hope in her life and her difficult circumstances managed to make her depressed and despair. However, she continued to struggle and eventually overcame the stage in her life. Thank you for listening. I wish you like my presentation.